You know, I think it's important to talk about this bus crash that happened yesterday because it was so tragic, and it actually, I think it happened, or at least the news was starting to break as we were on the air yesterday. And this is, of course, this casino charter bus that crashed yesterday, and I think is it 2 people confirmed dead. There were 40 some odd people injured, most of them elderly. And I think it brings to light a really interesting, and it was. Yesterday we were talking about whether gambling should be here
legalized in Texas.
Yes. And then, of course, that was happening really as we were talking about that.
Because they were on their way to Louisiana, right?
To a casino, and I just wonder if we did legalize it here, if people wouldn't need to get on those big buses and go out of state to gamble, you know?
But they might get on those big buses to go to another city to gamble. Those charter buses, it seems like there are too many of those accidents. They scare me. They really do.
And no one wears a seatbelt or anything
And
when they're on, you know, everyone's relaxed.
Well, they're not, there aren't even seatbelts on the
some
bus.
of them, right.
Because in the U.S., it's not, the Department of Transportation says we don't have to do that.
But we don't know what caused it yet, do we? Are they still investigating?
I don't believe we know what caused it yet. Yeah.
So it could have been anything. The problem is I feel like we can't always live our lives in fear that something like that is going to happen. I think, you know, accidents just happen. So I don't know. I mean, until we find out what the cause was, I don't know if it could have been preventable or not. But
apparently they had a great record, right? The company, the charter company, had a great record, safety record.
But it's sad too because one of the people who died was the woman who organized the trip. Her name was Sue, and she was 81 years old, and she, I guess, was known for organizing these trips with senior homes, you know, across the area, and taking people on these casino trips. But another thing that kind of came to light as this whole thing was unfolding is some of the people who got in there to rescue people that were trapped under the bus said that they were so disgusted by all the people that were standing by.
Just watching.
And they were watching, not just watching, they were taking video with their phones.
Oh, dear me.
And they were so busy taking the video that they couldn't be bothered to actually get down there and help. And I think that just says something about our society and our need to like post something and, you know, get the video on YouTube and
watch carnage.
And not help. Like whatever happened to just being a decent human being. And, you know,
I think people are afraid to help in a lot of instances because they get sued helping so many times.
Like we were just saying.
Yeah. And so I think people tend to be afraid to pitch in and help.
Yeah. And there was this one gentleman that I heard this morning talking about how he started to help, but he was so upset by all the, he said, carnage, that he just had to get away from there because it was just making him heartsick and physically ill too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a board member of the American Red Cross, and I have to say we got a little update yesterday. It made me feel so proud to be involved with them. We don't always, we think of the Red Cross in weather disasters and with the military maybe, but we don't think of them in these situations. And they were out there helping the families of the victims and doing what they could that day to really help.
Always right there, always there. Everybody in a disaster.
You can always count on them.
Yeah, that's why, you know, when I used to do the news here and we'd have some sort of, you know, disaster happening, we always have the text number where you could text and give money. That was
they do so many things that people don't think of them for, and I was really proud that they were there responding to that in their own way yesterday. So thank you. Yes.
Good point to make.